for a legend in your own lunchtime. Well, I've had some gaffes in my life. I've now been doing this 25 years and writing a book, and the other day somebody reminded me of all the times when they worked with me that I put my big foot in it, and I've just done it again. Hey! But I think my guest, Mr. Wilko Johnson, is just about still speaking to me.
Here I sit, I'm not even slightly offended.
Oh, good. Because, you see, everybody's got a record that you hold in great affection from a band, and they're so evocative, and the one that I see myself dancing to as a student at Leeds was "They Got Him on Milk and Alcohol," and you just said, "Oh great, I wasn't on that." You'd left by that, because you were only in Dr Feelgood a couple of years, weren't you? So sorry.
No, it's all right. As I say, I'm not even slightly offended.
Right, all right, rewind. And there's a few urban myths that might be that I've always wanted to find out about. Right, so Dr Feelgood, that was a drug that JFK took, wasn't it, for his back problems, for example?
It was Dr Feelgood, I do believe, and well, they back a bit higher up, I think, but they did indeed send for Dr Feelgood, and he did not prescribe milk and alcohol.
Right, okay. Right, so that was right. That's what it refers to. And is it true that Princess Diana used to sneak out of Kensington Palace and come to Dr Feelgood gigs?
People tell me this thing, but I never did witness a ladyship as she was then. Maybe she was incognito.
You don't remember that blonde bobbing around in the mosh pit then at the Half Moon?
No.
Okay.
I could say yes, but I'm going to say no.
Say yeah, then we'll get on all sorts of clip shows. Right, so it's a busy year for you, because you've got a tour and a box set and a biography all coming out around the same time. You're really putting yourself out there. I
know. It's just, it's all suddenly, I didn't plan this, like other people did, really. I just get steered into things.
It's a good time, though, for people, like, rediscovering stuff, going back to stuff nostalgically, or young kids, like, discovering stuff for the first time. Seems to be happening for quite a lot of musicians, bands, artists at the moment. Maybe Six Music's something to do with it. People hear stuff and think, well, I get emails all the time saying that. I heard that, Liz, and I decided to go back 30 years. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, I think it would really say the last couple of years have started stirring up again. Yeah. I think it started with Julian Temple's film Oil City Confidential, which I think turned a whole lot of people onto Dr Feelgood. I mean the proper Dr Feelgood, and started bringing in a lot of new audiences. Yeah. The book, the autobiography, just kind of something that developed. It developed, yes. It was initially it was just going to be a piece of merchandise, stick a few pictures and a little bit of text and that. And
ka-ching.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And Zoe Howe was putting this together, and then I don't know, it just gradually started expanding. So it's taken in a little bit more than my guitar playing. And
well, you've done all that. You've done so much. You've met so many people. You've been an influence on so many people. I mean, I've known Billy Bragg before he was famous, and he used to talk about you and your influence. You must be aware of that. And
I do know quite a lot of people, yes, that took a trick or two from me.
I mean, Blondie, big fan of yours?
I don't know. They don't come and tell me.
Oh, don't they ring you up? Right. Okay, here's the list. The Clash.
Yeah.
So what was your relationship with The Clash?
I can remember just after I got thrown out of Dr Feelgood, I was walking in the rain down Oxford Street. I had my little boy on my shoulders, and suddenly these three guys come bursting through the crowd. It was Joe Strummer, and I think it might have been Bernie Rhodes. I don't know. It was three of the Clash. I think it might have been Joe and Mick, but it was certainly Joe. And Joe came up to me and he said, you don't know who I am, but I said, I know who you are, man. I said, I've seen you in the papers. He started saying to me, well, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? Now, this terrible bust-up has happened. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'll tell you what, why don't you come round? And I had a place up in West Hampstead at the time. So you can come over and let's all have a talk. And they said, yeah, right, we'll come over later on. And I went back to West Hampstead, and I got in the flat, and Lemmy was there, right? And I said, oh, I'll tell you what, man, I just met those guys from this new band, The Clash. And I said, they're going to come over here, we'll get together. And Lemmy said, The Clash. He said, did you see what their roadie said about our last single?
Oh.
And I thought, oh dear, you know, I'm going to have a punch-up between The Clash and Motorhead in my living room. But actually, it was all very, very convivial.
They did turn up then? They did come round for tea?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
oh, right, brilliant.
And I became friendly with them, and I also, like, bumped into the Pistols and people at that time.
And then the Jam, Boomtown, all that sort of punk, post-punk stuff. Yeah. But, as I say, America as well, Blondie, and the Ramones. The Ramones were inspired by you, were they?
Yeah, I mean, they supported us, actually, at the Bottom Line in New York when we were playing there. That's the first time I encountered them. They went 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And you were off. So, what about your time in the Blockheads, and why aren't you... They're going round now. Don't you fancy being involved in that, or is that in the past,
well, I mean, in their sort of present incarnation and that, I think they've got enough guitar players.
Yeah, they've got about 10. They are still having a good time. I just wondered. And your mate, Little Norman, was right good to me backstage all afternoon at a festival. Yeah, we had a brilliant time. Yeah, the thing is, I think that when you interview people, your name comes up quite a bit. You know, you're kind of their musicians.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So, what are you going to be playing on your tour? I have the full dates here, and we'll share them with the listeners. From all the stuff you've ever been involved in, how do you pick a set list?
Well, I think actually this time round, because the Dr Feelgood box set is coming out, I think we're going to be including more numbers from back then than perhaps I'd normally do. I mean, what you actually play on any one night is, and we don't write a set list or anything, and we don't rehearse. So you just let it come as it comes. But I'm going to try and I will in fact be playing more numbers from all those years ago.
Hey, yes. Rock and roll, eh? No rehearsals. That is the spirit of punk. And your book's out in April, all through the city, and the box set. So what can we play? I'm not going to pick another tune because you'll just turn around and say, I wasn't on that one. Did you like my Essex accent then? Good evening, I'm from Essex. In case you couldn't tell.
In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not actually. But what would you play then?
Sneakin Suspicion.
There it is, and he introduced it himself. Wilko, thank you very much for coming on my show. Have a brilliant tour. I'll tell you what, I'll buy a plastic crown from a party shop and I'll come and stand in the audience, and it'll be like, you know, history all over again.
Thank you, and I shall buy you a drink, and it won't be milk and alcohol.
Ooh, Dr Feelgood. Tour dates after this, Sneakin Suspicion.